You are not giving yourself enough time to succeed. A lot of traders tend to kind of get into this hamster wheel where they're going around and around and around. And it's actually not your strategy. It's actually not the market. It's actually not the news. It's not the Fed. It's not any of these macroeconomic events that are going on that are causing you to lose money. It's not the market makers. It's not the suits. It's not, them hunting for stop losses or any of this stuff. In fact, it is you that is debilitating yourself from actually getting through the wall to the other side to actually seeing success. And I want to kind of, expand on what it is that I mean by that. So this business is a probabilities-based business, right? You're going to win some trades, you're going to lose some trades. It's all about staying in the business as long as possible. And I've made a lot of videos touching around this topic. I try to really focus on this in the Evolution Traders community that you guys can join on the link down in the description box below if you want. I do have one spot left for this month. But a lot of traders are not seeing this all the way through, right? So some of the common mistakes that happen with traders is they enter a trade, they want to be green almost instantly. They want to see no drawdown. Now, sometimes you get into those trades and they just kind of go for you. You don't really have to do anything. There's other times where trades maybe take 15, 20, 5, an hour to set up, right? Sometimes you do have to sit through a little period of drawdown. But a lot of traders mentally, psychologically are psyching themselves out to where they're not breaking through that barrier. They're not actually giving themselves time to be successful. So what I want to show you guys here is we're going to be looking at the futures. We're going to look at the ES, right? I know I cover a lot of the NQ, but let's take a look at the ES here for all of our ES traders. If you guys have followed my YouTube channel for quite some time, you guys know the strategy that I'm going to go over. I want to kind of break things down for you to kind of get you through that barrier so you can see that even if you were sitting at the computer screen until 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is about 4 hours after the market has opened, how you should be profitable, right? And if you are not profitable, the reason why is you. It's because you're oversized. It's because you're not taking trades. It's because you have a personal bias where you don't feel the market can go up anymore. You don't feel the market can go down. You think that maybe you missed the move. You're too late. Guys, if you trade the ES, you're looking at the ES charts all day. There's no reason for you to bounce around to the NQ. There's no reason for you to bounce around to gold. There's no reason for you to bounce around to oil. If you're an ES trader, let's master the ES. If you are a NASDAQ trader, let's master the NASDAQ. There's no reason for us to be jumping from chart to chart. So if we look at this first setup that happened at 6:35 in the morning, we did get a confirmation. However, we trickled around sideways for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes before this was a losing trade and stopped you out. Now, this trade would have lost from your entry price down here at around 43.41 to a full stop out here at around 43.47 was about 6 points. So trade number one is a loser. Now, what happens mentally to a trader is that when you see the next trade, right? So when you see this next setup, you do not take it because you are fearful that you are going to lose trade number two. When in fact, what you need to do is put the losing trade behind you, understand that you're practicing good risk management. So not one singular trade should definitely devastate your account. And we get our second setup here, entry price of 43.37, that within a matter of 10 minutes drops down to a price of 43.28. So although this was a 6-point losing trade to start, this was a 10-point plus because we did wick down a little bit lower. But let's say that you sold in this candle was a 10-point winner. We should be net positive 3 points trading the ES over 2 trades. Now, depending on the position sizing, if we are playing a little bit smaller and we're playing those micro contracts, maybe we're not in the positive that much to where we can write home and call it a day, right? So we need, maybe some new setups to form. You can see that we do get a setup at 8:30 PST. That entry price was 43.36. This goes in a matter of 10 minutes to a price of 43.41. So this was potentially, even on a little bit of a scalp play, was potentially another 5-point winner. If we kind of wash out the first losing trade with the second winning trade, we are net positive 3 points. Even if we scalped 4, 5, 6 points on the second trade, we should be net positive on the ES at least 7 to 8 points on the day. If we wait for our next setup, that comes here at 9:30 PST, gets confirmed at 9:35 at a price of around 43.22. We should have been getting short on a 9:35 PST candle, and from 43.22 drops down to a price of 43.15. Let's call it another 5 points, give or take, right? Obviously, we wick down there. Maybe you didn't sell, obviously, at the bottom wick. Whoever does catch the bottom wick, let's call it another 5 points. We should be net positive 10, 12, 13 points trading the ES. What do we do? What do we then do? We can then either analyze our profits and either call it a day, or we can look and sit on our stump and wait for the next setup to arise. That next setup arises at 9:45 PST. The entry price was around 43.41, and within 5 minutes time goes to 43.49. So if we're already net positive 12, 13 points, we easily within 5 minutes just took another 6, 7, 8 points, potentially, depending on where you got out in that candlestick with slippage and fill times and this, that, and the other. So potentially you could be up 15 to 20 points trading the ES in the first few hours of the market open. Now, what I want to touch on is that many traders are not staying patient long enough to wait for the next setup. What's tending to happen, and what I see happen a lot, is you see a play here. Let's say, for example, you don't take the setup, you see us trickling down, and now you're kind of looking for that new play. Well, I missed the 20 play, but if we make a new low of day down here at 43.26, potentially I'm going to take the trade. So what happens is a lot of you guys will get in here, you take the new low, and then it stops you out, trickles you around, you get impatient, you sell for a loss, and then, you see it kind of break to the upside here, and you tell yourself, well, the high of day so far is sitting right here at around 43.40s. Maybe I take this trade, when we break the high of day, and, you try to find every reason to justify these little simple entries, and all you're necessarily doing is just trading with inside the range. You're chopping yourself up. There's no real strategy. There's no change in trend. Guys, remember, the whole theory is to get in on the trend. And using the 20 SMA on a 5-minute time frame is a short-term change in trend strategy. So as long as we are trading below that 20 SMA, we want to look for that initial setup that is changing the trend, because typically that's where the bigger move is going to come. We don't want to start trading short when we're already down, 10 points from the initial move. We're not looking for, well, hey, there's a new low of day here at 43.24. I see this a lot. Some of you guys will mark out this level, and then, we'll come down, and then you take this short position, and then you get stopped out. And it's like, the play was here. Stick to the strategy, stick to the rules, and allow yourself enough time. For example, look at the setup that is happening right now. Confirmation of 43.43 has dropped down to 43.38. Guys, this is another 4 or 5 points winner into demand. Take your profits into demand. You just locked in another 4 or 5 points trading the ES. So now you should be up 20 plus points trading the ES. As it continues to drop now, it has dropped 10 points. You should be up 25 points. I would seriously think about taking your profits. A lot of you guys are failing these challenges for prop firms because you're in a race. You are rushing to make profits. You're getting funded and you're rushing to get that payout. When in reality, there is no rush. There is no need to rush or force trades or not stay patient. If you're going to do this business, 90% of it is sitting around. 80% of it is identifying the next potential opportunity. And the next potential opportunity is when you get a new change in trend. And that only occurs when we reclaim or we lose the 20 SMA on the 5-minute time frame. If we're trading above the 20 SMA, for example, and you're looking at the computer screen and we're in this time period, there really is no new play because the play happened and initiated way down here. So yes, in your minds, you can try to justify, well, if we take out the high of day here, I'm going to go long. And a lot of times people will take this long and then watch it pull all the way back and wonder why they got stopped out. Or hold it and then take a huge loss. Or trade that particular setup and then blow their funded accounts. Guys, if you want to stop blowing funded accounts, if you want to actually start making good headway as far as your trading psychology and understanding the process, and you want to get around other traders who are doing this and actually being consistent and profitable, because the main thing here is to be very, very disciplined and very, very patient, and also understand that there's going to be losing trades, but we have to be in the game long enough to catch the string of winning trades to put us back in the green and then profitable. Once your account starts to grow and you start taking payouts and you build that padded cushion up, things become a lot easier. In the beginning, it's very, very hard. And the number one enemy, okay, and I'm going to make a video on this with a follow-up more so on the mindset and psychology, but the number one enemy in trading is not the market makers, it's not the news, it's not the ticker symbol, it is you. You are your own worst enemy when it comes to trading. And when you start to identify that and tame that inner demon that you have inside of you, whether it be greed, whether it be confidence, whether it be fear, whether it be anxiety, as soon as you start to combat that inner demon is when you'll actually start to see the breakthrough. And when you actually start to understand that it's okay to take small wins, that you don't have to catch the whole big move, that it's okay to stop trading, even if you're just a little bit green when you can't seem to set your feet and find a trending day. Like, for example, this day on the ES is not trending at all. We've come down, we've went sideways, we've put in a high, we've come all the way back down, we broke the lows, we've come all the way back up, and now we're all the way back down. This day is not trending at all on a macro overview. However, there's been little pockets, right? Little pockets and areas of opportunity to scrape money out of the markets. But a lot of times you as a trader want to catch the whole big move. You're under this false persona that you're going to just catch that trade that just goes 20, 30, 40, 50 points in a row all day. You have this false sense of security as looking around on social media and seeing people who are taking $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 out of the market, as if you're going to do the same trading one prop firm with a $2,000 drawdown. And I'm just using that as an example, but it's not going to happen. In order to make large sums of money, you need to have a large lump of money. And you need to also understand particular risk, and you need to understand your specific edge. That's what I really try to focus on in Evolution Traders. And again, there's a lot of people that come into the room and they're kind of just looking for some magic answer. Guys, if you really are serious and you really do want to learn how to navigate the markets and you want to work with me, schedule those calls. Let's recap your trades. Let's recap where you got in and where you got out of the trades. Let's see what potentially you did wrong, what you did right, and how can we maximize on the things you're doing right. I'm here to help teach. I'm here to help coach, to help mentor. I'm also here to trade and make money. That's how I keep the lights on. That's how I pay my bills. That's how I survive. Trading is obviously number one. So if we want to be a trader, we need to make sure we are extracting money from the markets and not just depositing money. The more we deposit, the harder it is psychologically to get to that point where we can start extracting money. Once we put a lump sum of money in, it needs to work for us. It needs to absolutely work for us. I don't care if you have a salary job where you make $150,000, $250,000 a year, and you figure, I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple $1,000s in. If I win, I win. I lose, I lose. You will be in the same place a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later. If you really want to get over that edge, if you really want to identify what problems and mistakes you are making, come into Evolution Traders, schedule a one-on-one. Let's go over your last 5 trades. Let's see your entries. Let's see your exits. Because more than likely, as we go over them and we do that back testing on them, we're going to identify, hey, you know what? We got into this trade way too late. We should have gotten 5 points ago. Hey, you know what? We held for profit way too long and we gave back too many profits. We didn't take this trade because the previous trade we lost, psychologically, that blocked us. You are going to start seeing what you're doing wrong, and you're going to be able to start fixing it. Guys, this trade that has just set up here in real time is down around 13 points. Okay? It's down around 13 points. Should be up around 30 points on the ES today. 1 loser, 4 or 5 winners, up 30 plus points. I would love to work with you. I do have 1 spot left. Whoever takes advantage of that, it will come off after that, just to give enough time to work with that next trader. Whether you want to get funded, whether you're trading options, futures, prop firm, doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing.